one of you here, you are quite familiar with this event, right? So in this kind of events, we just have two hosts coming from different countries, and we will share about the difference in culture or in the society that we have. So, hi, today I'm the host, my name is Jessie, and I'm going to be talking about from a Taiwanese perspective in the following events. And my co-host is Xia. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. You probably saw me before, but maybe not all of you know that I'm from Ukraine, so yeah, I'm studying here for like my second year. So yeah, let's start our today's topic.
Yeah. So today we have a very interesting topic for you, which is individualism and collectivism in our society. You can also think of individualism as a me society and collectivism as a we society. And just before we dive into the content, we prepare a video to give you a more clear idea about collectivism and individualism. Why exactly is that? So let's look at this video to get an idea of that.
From the moment we're born, we begin to develop our identities. Who are we? What should we care about? And how should we relate to all the people around us? As it turns out, the way each of us answers these questions largely depends on the culture we grow up in. One major difference between cultures in the East and the West is how we view the individual in relation to the group. Some cultures tend to place more importance on the individual. They're known as individualistic or me societies. Many Western societies, including those in the United States, Australia, and large swaths of Europe, are considered me cultures. People in a me culture believe each individual is responsible for their own well-being. Their circle of responsibility extends only to their immediate family members, parents, spouses, or children. They view their responsibility to others in society, like their neighbors or classmates, as limited. After all, they're also individuals who should be taking care of themselves. On the other hand, some cultures place more importance on a group. They're called collectivist societies, or we cultures. Many Eastern cultures, including those in China, India, and Japan, are considered we cultures. People in a we culture prioritize strong social ties and belonging to a larger group. These groups might include classmates, neighbors, and extended families. They strive for group harmony and believe the individual should make the best decisions for the overall well-being of their group. If you take care of the group, they'll take care of you.
Yeah, so I think this video is pretty clear about what is individualism and collectivism. But just to make things even easier for you, collectivism, you can think of 集体主义 in Chinese, and individualism, you can think of it as 个人主义. So today we prepared 3 different angles to explore this topic. And the first one is a very interesting and common phenomenon in Taiwan society. I'm going to show you a video and you're going to understand which kind of phenomenon I'm talking about. So yeah. Oops.
来哦，今麦我为着大家介绍彰化不二家，现在是凌晨4点半，大排长龙。
大半夜的，这群人不睡觉，通通在马路上站着、坐着，大排长龙，绕了一大圈，就是为了蛋黄酥。
Yeah, so I think you already know what kind of things I'm going to talk about. I have some. Don't say. Lighting up. So I'm going to talk about lighting up in Taiwanese society. So I believe every one of you is very familiar that we can light up for a lot of things. For example, we light up for 中华电信. I think that is some very cheap package of a mobile package that we light up for that because it's very cheap. We also light up for a mailbox, just to take a picture with a mailbox that is destroyed by the typhoon and it's kind of tilted because the wind is too strong. So we think that's very cute and we line up for that to take a picture. We also line up for ramen and we line up for masks, for vaccines, for COVID tests, and also for eggs this year. So Taiwanese people just love to line up a lot of things, and that actually has something to do with the topic of today, which is collectivism. But before that, I would like to ask Sia, what do you think about the lining up situation in Taiwan?
Yeah, when I first time came here, I was so surprised by this phenomenon that people line up because it's not common in my country at all. Like, we don't like to line up. Sure, like when I'm in the supermarket and I need to wait to pay, so yeah, it's okay for me to wait because there's no other option. But I won't line up for like something I just want to get. So my first time lining up for something, it was after beginning of the war because we didn't have some products in our supermarket. So I lined up for the bread for 1 hour because it took like some time to bake it, and yeah, and for me it was something like out of the blue. I couldn't imagine this, so I even took a photo and I sent it to my friends like, oh, can you imagine? I baked to get a bread for like 1 hour. I lined for this, so weird for me. Yeah, but after spending some time here, I'm more okay for lining up. I went for a trip with my brother and we were like, oh, people are lining up for something, maybe it's something really good, should we also stay in there and let's try it? So yeah, we lined up and it was really good. We tried some bakery stuff. And also my recent experience, I had workshop for kids, and this for making Ukrainian dolls. And before I had it for foreigners or for Ukrainians, but this time I had for Taiwanese, so I was impressed that people who helped me, they just made a line from people to get some materials which is needed for my workshop. I was like, oh, it's convenient, but it's something I won't think about because like line up for getting materials for my workshop, something interesting, but yeah, still confusing for me. Yeah, and I also want to mention a bit about historical background, why people in my country, they don't like to line up. Because before we were part of Soviet Union, and in Soviet Union they didn't have enough of products, they didn't have a lot of clothes, like whatever. So people line up for like everything. Here you can see bread, like whatever, some products, and sometimes they were just walking and they saw the line, they stand there in the line, and then after this, they're trying to understand, oh, what can I get from here? They didn't even know what they're lining up for. And also, I know some experience that people, because there was not enough, there were not a lot of products in the market, so people came there at like, if markets start work at 7, they come there at 5 and just line up, or some people just tell their kids, oh, you stay here, don't go anywhere, just line up, I'll come back in a few hours. So yeah, that's why my parents, they don't like lining up for anything, and yeah, because we're now in an independent country, we can choose what we want, and we can, like, we have a lot of options. Why should I waste my time standing in the line to get something that other people want to get? It doesn't make any sense for me. So yeah, some historical background why we think this way. Yeah, and now we would like you guys to talk about when was the last time when you lined up for something, and how long did it take, and what was it for? So talk to your friends, neighbors. Yeah, you have.
And also, if you're a person who don't really line up, you can also talk about that. If you line up with some people, if you don't, so just share with your neighbors. You have 3 minutes. You can start talking. volunteers? It's alright. I saw some group, they are doing like a really intensive discussion over there, and I wonder what are you talking about? Like what did you chat about? So yeah, you in the blue hoodie. Yeah, because I saw you doing something with your hands.
Okay. My partner here, he talked about he doesn't like to line up, and I share an awful experience of I just wait for 1.5 hours for a brunch restaurant in China. So we arrived there about 10:30, and we got our meal at 12. It's just so stupid, and we just eat for 15 minutes. And the food even is bland, so we just waste our time lining up.
Why did you even do that?
It's the last day of our trip, and we're just tired and sit there for just use our cell phone and just wait, and finally our turn and got the awful food, and I know it's not a good idea.
Now you know, but never go to that kind of restaurant. But see, Taiwanese people are so patient.
And fun fact, we meet a foreign couple, and they asked us about how long did we wait, and we said it's about 40 minutes, and they just, wow, then we won't take this restaurant, and they just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time you know what to do. Yeah. Any other volunteers?
Yeah, I would like to ask someone from here, because I saw you were discussing a lot with your partner.
We talked about, like, yesterday we are from the dentistry department. Yesterday we have a hot like gathering around near the school, and then we need to like write our name on the list, and then we also line up for that. And then we also talked about like in tomorrow's class we need to line up for the X-ray.
For what?
X-ray.
Okay.
X-ray. We need to like take an X-ray of the teeth, and then but there's also only a few computer and scanner there, so we need to line up for a really long time. And I also talked about like I lined up for the drink shop. There's a lot of drink shops in Taiwan, and some of those will have a lot of people, especially when they have some new stuff, new drink coming out.
Why did you line up for that? Do you really love beverages?
Some of them I really love, like yeah, I really some of it I love. I'm willing to line up because actually it only takes like 5 minutes, so that wouldn't be that long of a line. Like the line you need to wait for like 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that.
I hate it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I found a video as probably this YouTuber you're familiar with. He was talking about why Taiwanese people love to line up, and I'm sorry this is in Chinese, and I try to explain after this. So let's see the explanation first.
当你真的是问里面的人在排什么，就很可能会得到。我也不知道，但有这么多人，我想应该是什么不错的东西吧？我回答，真是太神秘了。从进一步的分析来看，心理学上与排队现象最相关的词叫做从众效应。当超过特定数量的人开始不约而同地做出同一个行为时，我们也会不由自主地想要模仿，因为这样能让我们觉得合群、安全以及安心。反过来说，人们都想要得到同侪与社会的认同感，而参与排队与得到排队后的东西，这是一个能让人融入社会的方法。它帮助我们进入交流群话题，进而让人在团体中产生归属感。
So remember, our topic for today is collectivism and individualism, right? This is something very collective. People do the same thing. Some of you probably have different reasons to line up because you really love that beverage, or you really are just tired and you want to wait some here. But But imagine some agua, some grandparents, some auntie, they really go line up for things that they don't even know about because they want to get involved. So this is the way that Taiwanese people interact with the society. This is the first example of today. We also have other two aspects we will talk about, and the next one is how individualism and collectivism influence our education. So in the classroom, how is it like that you show individualism in Ukraine classroom?
Yeah, some interesting stuff, because also, once again, when I just came here, I was so surprised that during the class, people don't really talk. Like, they don't raise hands, they don't answer questions, they don't ask questions. Because it's totally different in my country. Like, if you want to get better mark, or just in general, you need to raise your hand, you need to tell your opinion, you need to answer, you just need to talk all the time. And yeah, it's also common for us to have like group discussions, and each of us needs to have their own opinion and then discuss what are we going to tell after discussing like our own thoughts. Related to this, I would like to show, yeah, it's my high school diploma, I don't mind showing it to you. So why am I showing it to you right now? Because I heard that here, you don't separate like language and literature, but in my country, we have it separately. Like, I have Ukrainian language and literature. I had two foreign languages like English, and I also studied Mandarin back then. Still, so yeah, like we had word literature separately, and also we separate math into algebra and geometry, which you don't do it here. Yeah, I didn't know that before actually. We have like astronomy or ecology, because during chat hour we had some conversation about like environmental problems, and some of you told me like, oh, we are not used to talk about like ecology, environmental problems in the school or whatever, but we have it like separate subject. And also what I wanted to say is, yeah, you probably see my grades here, but in my country it's not that important as here, I guess, because for like my parents, they would like me to have knowledge. So if I have higher mark but I don't have knowledge for this subject, it means nothing. So yeah, that's why you can see like I have English 9, but it's the only language I can use here, so it doesn't, I mean, yeah, I don't care about those grades. And also, I wanted to mention that during our class, as I told before, we need to express ourselves, we need to have our own opinion. So during literature class or history class, we discuss events which happened, or we discuss the book, and everyone needs to think and to tell like, oh, what I personally think about this, or like, express. And one example of it, in my 10th grade in high school, my chemistry teacher, she was head teacher of the school, and she had interesting methods of teaching us. So even though it was chemistry, she wanted us to interpret it in our own way, because she said, you're not a parent just to copy what you learned from the book. You need to interpret it and to put it in your way. So she pushed us to have our own thoughts and opinions, even though it was chemistry. I mean, it's something scientific. How can you do it differently? But yeah, after all, I'm really grateful for this teaching methods, and it helped me a lot to express my thoughts as well. So yeah, here about school schedule, a little bit, yeah, sure, it's in Ukrainian, you want to understand, I'm sorry, but yeah, we have like Ukrainian language, algebra, world history, and we also study like 6 days per week. So you can see here like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, blah blah. And we started at 8:30 and finished at 3. Sure, it really depends on the school. It's a scale from my brother's high school. Yeah, for me I have different, but we usually study on Saturday in this high school. So I'm wondering, what about situation in Taiwan? Is it the same or is it totally different?
Okay, so this is the class. Yeah, I know you're very familiar with that. This is a class schedule of senior high school, right? And I would like to point out 2 differences here. First one, the subjects that we have: Chinese, history, chemistry, English, math. They are for exams. They are for the final huge exams that we all need to take, which is sometimes it's the 学测自考, the college entrance exam. We don't have literature. Literature is combined in Chinese, but we don't really talk about literature in Chinese class. We don't have ecology. And another difference is that you can see here, maybe it looks like we're learning a lot of things, but the truth is, every morning section, 早自习, every period of time before the first class, we were taking tests, like all the time. And I remember, I don't know about you, but in my case, the last year of senior high school, when everyone's preparing for the college entrance exam, the teachers, they are done with all the progress, right? They teach everything that you're supposed to know for the exams. And we just take text, like all the time. Like in the morning we have one, and in Chinese class we review the text. So it's something like, okay, question 1 to 10, any questions? The student will say like, okay, I have a question about question 3. Why is the answer A and not C? We talk about that. We don't talk about how you think about the text. We talk about why is this the right answer. So sad for me. This is a standard. This is what our test looks like. So that is a really history question. So 下列哪一个事件的发生开启了宋辽之间的外交对等地位 ？Can anyone answer this? A, really?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't try to. I believe I memorized that like a long time ago, so I forgot everything. But just as you say, everyone is capable of giving the correct answer. So what we do like after every text is that we show correct answer, and every question it must be a standard answer. And our job is to try to memorize all the text and identify the correct answer. This is how collectivism influences our education, because we think the same. We just do the same thing, we follow the same pattern of thinking, and we get the right answer, and then we're done. There's a good thing and bad thing about this. Good thing is that we're very good at exams. We know how to pass, we know how to memorize, and once we get it down, we're done with the exams, we live our lives outside school. That's one benefit with that. It becomes very easy for us to separate. But the bad thing about this is that we never think when we're a student. We don't have to think. We don't have to think about 宋辽 外交, how is that a good thing, is that a bad thing? We don't think about that. We just try to find the correct answer. That is some bad thing about how collectivism influences our education. Other example, I believe some medicine major, 医学系的, you're very familiar with journals, 共笔, right? So you don't really have to go to every one of the class. You look at some the notes that other people take, and they got you covered. You don't need to go to every class. You can look at the journals. Also, when we're really little, like in elementary school, there will be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes period of break, and the school plays music, and we're just supposed to go cleaning the campus. And your duty is different, like you can clean the windows, or you can sweep the leaves on the streets, or the worst kind is that you have to clean the toilets. But this is an example of how collectivism is everywhere in our daily life, from very young. The teachers, the school, they are teaching us to be responsible for the environment. Like everyone is responsible for the environment, so you need to clean it, and you even need to switch your duties. So something you need to clean the toilets. This is how another example last example is really different from the situation here. Whenever the teacher tries to pick somebody, or just like we did earlier, when I ask any volunteers, you avoid my eye contact. You do this, like you never want to speak up for things. There are a lot of reasons. Maybe you don't know the answer, or maybe you just don't want to speak up. You don't have opinion, or you don't want to say any of your opinion. In Taiwanese classroom, it's very easy to hide in the crowd because you look like everybody else in the uniform. So this is the uniform of my high school. You can see everyone looks pretty much the same because we need to wear the same things. And fun facts about uniform, free use, yeah? We have the summer version, we also have the winter version, so long sleeves. And this is a picture, but I know you get the idea. Another fun fact about this is that summer version and winter version is up to the school to announce when to switch. So in my experience, like in high school, if you want to be cool and you want to be different and you wear like a hoodie outside your uniform, or you wear something fancy sleeves outside the sleeves, it is illegal in my high school. Like you cannot wear that. You're gonna get like CB by the教官 or something. Yeah. So as you can see, collectivism is actually everywhere, and even the uniforms. The parents line up to get the uniform. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Yeah. What do you think about the situation?
Yeah, the situation in my country is different because we also have school uniform, but it's not the same for everyone. It should be formal, but yeah, so it should be formal. It's better to have like black and white, but everyone looks different. Like you can wear whatever you want, but like it should be formal. It should be formal. And I want to show some photos from my school. It's just from my school, and you can see everyone wear different outfits. And for us, it's like we don't want to look the same. Especially we are teenagers. I don't want to look like you. I want to have different opinion. Like if someone wears the same skirt as me, I would be like, should I change? Should I go change? It's not okay for me. So yeah, situation in my country is totally different from here. We don't want to be the same as others. So yeah.
Yeah, so we have a next question for you. What do you think about the difference? So as I say, there are good things and bad things, right? Good thing is that it's very easy for us to deal with the school life. We know how to pass exams, but we don't know how to really think. And about uniforms, when we're wearing the same thing, we kind of feel a sense of safe. We feel safeness when we are together with people in other same clothes. Also, we don't need to think about what to wear every day. So, which one do you prefer, the Taiwanese style or the Ukrainian style? Please again discuss with your neighbors. You will have 3 minutes, and after that, I hope there will be some volunteers. Okay, you can start discussing now.
school life in Ukraine is pretty interesting because it allows the students to like voice out their own opinions, which makes students feel more engaged in the lessons and maybe they might develop a sense of interest in the subjects they're learning. But for dress code, I think Taiwan might be better for me. Because I don't want to like wake up at like 6 in the morning and like think of what
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Since before had like in the evening, what are you going to wear? I mean, you don't need to wake up at 6 and think about outfit. You can prepare it from the evening, you know. Yeah, different ways.
Sia, would you like to?
Yeah, I would like to ask someone from these three guys, maybe, and versus middle. Sorry. Because I saw you were discussing, so I'm curious.
When I was senior high school, we go to play basketball at break time, and we put all the jackets under the tree. And when the class beginning, we run back to the class and random jacket. And I don't know which one is my jacket.
Do you have names on your jackets?
Yeah, but it's small and not very remarkable. I think.
Like which one do you still prefer having?
Different style. Because when I saw I wear someone wears like me, and I will feel a little bit uncomfortable. That is strange about. When we go to senior high school, we will customize our uniform and get steaming or someone else.
Yeah, that's the thing in Taiwan. Like we try to change a little bit with our uniforms, but now it's like huge. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for sharing. There's no right and wrong, like they're just different. So the last part of today, we're gonna talk about our personal journeys. Because see, we grow up in very different culture, right? Sia grows up in a very individual culture, and we grow up in a collective culture. So, yeah, Sia, can you?
Yeah, actually I was thinking like what should I put on the slides, because yeah, it's kind of tough to think of. So it's just photo with my classmates from the university. I studied with them for 6 years, and yeah, we were so different. And yeah, in the beginning of our journey, we disagree a lot, we argue a lot. But the thing is about arguing in my country, it's okay to argue, because like we are arguing, we are debating, but we are not taking things personally. We just want to share our opinion. And for me personally, when you argue and when you debate, you can come to new conclusions. You can see this idea from different points of view, or you can hear some other people's opinion, which is really great. Because yeah, I know that here the situation a bit different, but for me, I don't avoid those kind of stuff. So about this, also when I got to university, because in school we were teach how to think differently, and in my school especially. So in the university, sometimes I even like argue with professors, or I correct them like, oh, it's wrong actually, and yeah, I know it's not common here at all. Like, but for me it was okay, because we're just humans. I don't respect someone just because she is older. I don't respect someone just because she got better job. I mean, I respect someone for their knowledge, for who they are. So, and it's okay when you learn. So it's okay to learn from kids. It's okay to learn from students. It's okay to learn from elderly. And so during this journey, I learned a lot, and this is quote from some Ukrainian author. I translated it. I'm not sure is it like precise translation, but anyway, we are not the set of standards but a set of different universes. So we should accept that everyone is different, everyone has different personality, and it's okay. And it's okay to express yourself, because even though I was teach how to express myself, sometimes it was difficult for me to accept other people's opinions, but during our life we learn a lot. So yeah, this is just a small part of my journey which I wanted to share with you guys, and just see what about you.
So me, I grew up in a very collective culture, like most of you do. Like I underwent the most traditional education in Taiwan, so no fancy schools, public schools. So yeah, this is a picture of my class in junior high school. You can see that we're wearing the same clothes, which is our banfen, so the clothes of our class. We designed it ourselves. And we were really happy in this picture because I think this is sports day, and we won a lot of things. You can see up the ceiling, we have a lot of like championships. And the thing that we won, I think we won like something about cleaning. We are very good at cleaning somehow. And also relay race, 大队接力, and tug of war, 拔河. Everything that we won is about teamwork. So you can see that how much emphasis that the school puts on the whole class. So it's very normal for every one of us that we are a group, we're together, we are always looking after each other. So that's me in my junior high school. And then in college, things start to get different, right? Because you meet different people, and everyone in university, they come from different backgrounds, different counties of Taiwan. So also you start doing things more separately because the connection you and your classmate is not as strong as in primary school or like junior, senior high school. So I get to spend some more time alone, and I realized I really like the idea. And then when I was going to Canada as an exchange student, this is my group of friends in Canada. We were having hot pots one night, and I want to tell an example what Sia just shared before. So because I was in Montreal, which is a French-speaking city in Canada, and at some point during the hot pot, my friends, they start arguing in French, which I barely understand, and one of my friends is doing like, they do that a lot, like, and one of my friends is like speaking really loudly in French, and I was like, okay, what's going on, guys? Are you fighting? And they're like, no, we're just having conversations. So that's the first time that I physically feel the difference between individualist society and Taiwanese society. Because in Taiwan, with my Taiwanese friends, we tend to have similar opinions. We tend to do similar things. We never have that kind of arguments. And one more thing about my journey in the individual society is that when I was an exchange student there, I actually found myself a part-time job in a cafe, so I worked as a barista. And these are my colleagues. And you can see they're so different. Their hair color, their styles, their backgrounds, their ethnicity, everything about them is so different. And the way that we work is totally different from Taiwan. Of course, we have some rules that we do in the cafe, but however you like to do things, you just do it your way. And they see you as who you are. They don't see you as a Taiwanese. They don't see you as the colleagues, my coworkers in this cafe. No, you're just you. So one thing that I learned from this whole journey is about boundary. So in collective society, it's very easy for us to dissolve into a bigger group, to disappear into a bigger group because we're so similar. And sometimes when somebody asks you like who you are, some of you reply, 我是台湾人，我是宜兰人，我是宜放系的，我是艺剧系的 or 我是什么什么社团的干部。But if you think about it, who you are really. In Taiwanese society, we don't really think about who we are because we can just follow other people's. If you don't have an opinion or if your opinion is so minor, you can just easily follow everybody else because this society is created in a way that you don't need to have your opinion because every other is gonna look after you. And for me, my lesson is that, okay, now I understand how people think and how things work in a collective society, but I feel myself as a more individual. So the boundary that I wanted to share is that there are no right and wrong, they are just different. But in the collective society, you can have your own boundary and you can think about what you really like and what you really don't like, and you stick to that. You can say no to people so you don't have to line up for a lot of things. You don't have to follow other people's opinion. So the lesson for me is that I grew up in a very collective society, but I learned the individuality through many different aspects, and eventually I learned to create a very healthy boundary for myself. And we think that is a very important lesson for you all. And because we're running out of time, we just want to share this very quickly. So it's actually everywhere, collectivism and individualism. So in Chinese, we have a lot of saying that shows we are a collective society. For example, 听老师的话，团结就是力量，有服从下有难同的，在家靠父母，出外靠朋友，什么时候靠自己？That was my question. And in English, there are also some phrase that shows collectivism. We're in this together. It takes a village to raise a child. I think this is an African saying. And the nail that stands out gets pounded down, so don't stand out. And what about individualism?
For individualism, it's total difference. It's like be creative, be different. It's up to you. Make your own choices. You can make a difference. And from my childhood, I heard like my mom say it a lot. Like, if everyone else will jump from the roof, will you do it as well? You should have your own opinion. Don't follow others. So it was just fun fact that like from the childhood, I was teach like, have your own opinion, don't follow others, even though, like, no matter what they're doing. And we don't have time for this, and we would like you to answer this question, and maybe you can answer it. Can we go to slide, please? Can you scan QR code and just 3 words? Because in the beginning of our event, we show this question, so we would like to see how do you describe yourself? For me, I would choose like, if 3 words, it would be maybe creative, thoughtful, talkative.
Yeah. So just type your answer here and it's supposed to appear here. And if you have class, you can go earlier, but we're about to 6 people is typing.
Yeah, feel free to use emojis or just sentence that needs to be just 3 words. It's up to you.
We know it's a really big question, but if you don't have all the answers, it's okay. You can just type whatever you have now. And we're not going to ask you to speak. My own way, good. Describe, good. Okay, you can just send the answers you have for now. Wow. Okay, this is you. Good. I don't know which one of you is that. Okay. Okay, are you an animal? Good, good. Okay, so people are just really happy, I guess. Good. Too nice. Somebody is too nice. Talented. Positive. What does that even mean? Needles?
Care a lot about others and enthusiasm. It's nice.
Yeah, this is nice. Oh, somebody quite a lot. I don't know. Yeah. This is just a question for you to start thinking about who you are, and I see a lot of different combinations of emoji here. Each one of them is unique. The other people, they're gonna put the same emojis as you. Yeah, I bet if you go ask your friends about these questions, they will give you a different set of emojis. Okay, enthusiasm.
Question mark.
Okay, we can go back to this.
Yeah, and for our final message, what we wanted to say that your country, society, and your background cannot define who you are. You can decide by yourself, and you can create yourself. You should trust yourself and just be yourself, be who you are, and it's the most important. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about how Taiwanese culture is very collective and how Ukraine is very individual, but it's not 100%, right? In Taiwanese culture, we also have people that are very individual. In her society, probably somebody is very collective. And you as well, you're not 100% this or that. Everybody is a mix. And your culture and your society should not define you. I come from a very collective culture like you, and Xia come from a very individual culture, but we have one thing in common, that is we're very aware of who we are. And that is the lesson we want to give you after today's talk. So we hope that you can start thinking about who you really are, and you don't let other people or the whole society define who you are. Yep. So that's all. I know it's running late. We want to say for today. Before you go, can we just all turn around and let's take a final picture?